it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. How are you doing today? Today is Thursday because Boggy Creek was last night. We have crushed the 2,000 or the 1,200 blankets received, so that's pretty awesome. I'm very excited about that. So this is Charm Grammy Crochet. We are a crochet channel and a travel channel now. My husband and I want to fill up all the 50 states with our little license plates as for places that we have stayed the night, at least one night in the states. We've done over the course of our lives a lot of the coast that we live on. This winter we're going to be expanding this direction up through next summer to hit Alaska, and we take you along on our journeys. So far this week we are now in Nags Head, North Carolina, at the Outer Banks. We went to the aquarium yesterday. Today we have a couple of stops we want to make along the way. But this is not a travel video. This is a crochet video. I have been working on a project that I finished and I showed last night on the Boggy Creek Live. It is my good friend Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming is hosting a crochet along What's in a Name. And the idea is that you make something that has your name in the title of the pattern or tutorial. If you do not find something that you want to make that has your name in it, you have to design something of your own. Well, Lynette is not a very common name. There were a few things on Ravelry, a couple of dolls that were cute, but I just, in the camper, don't have the materials to want to do a doll. And you only had a month. Could I make a doll, a small doll in a month? Probably. But I'm not crocheting as much as I used to, only because we're out sightseeing. And even when we're driving, I'm like watching. So crochet projects that take concentration, not something I want to do while we're driving, because I'm watching the scenery. I'm seeing what's going by. So anyway, that being said, I did participate in, I made this cowl. It is a Mobius cowl. Looks like this. I love it. I'm going to tell you, I totally love it. This is going to be a gift for my daughter. It is called Lynette's Cozy Crochet Cowl. And the name was thought up by a subscriber. But you can wear it as just the cowl, or you can wear it as a hooded cowl, which I think is so doggone cute. I think my daughter will be able to pull it over her shoulders. Her shoulders are not as wide as mine. She's not as fluffy as I am. I'm hoping that that's the case, that she could pull it down over her shoulders. She is a teacher. The classrooms are not, and her offices are not always warm. And so sometimes if she's in a specific area, she might want something that'll come down just to keep her shoulders a little bit warmer. I think she'll be able to pull it down. I can't pull it down, but I think, I mean, then she wouldn't have it on her head, obviously. But I think she'll be able to pull it down a little bit on her shoulders if she wanted to. It turned out so good, I think. Usually when I design my own stuff, I'm not real thrilled with how they turned out. I like the way this turned out. What did I use? I used this much less of one cake of the Karen Cloud Cakes. There are 760 yards, 695 meters on this cake of yarn. It is a 4. And this one is called Sandbar Dune. And it's there. This color has like a little bit of a reddish tint to it. But they're all kind of brown, but it's like a brownish red. So very neutral colors. Red is Amanda's favorite color. She always wears bright red lipstick. And she has her hair with a reddish tint to it. So this, I think she'll just totally love it. I used almost one full and did not take long. Excuse me. The Mobius design, I watched a Fiber Spider video and a Natasha video on how to, I've tried several times to make the already twisted, and I always have an issue with it. I started again because Billie, the Crafty Floridian, is having an auction in December, again for Camp Boggy Creek. And in her auction, that light, sorry for the flickering. I don't know why the overhead lights in here do this to my video sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Anyway, she's doing in the beginning of December, I think the 5th and 6th, she's doing another auction, and she's only doing handmade. It has to be handmade items. So I think, since I have a whole nother cake of this yarn, and this is so soft and wonderful. I mean, oh God. And nice and toasty warm. I'm going to, and I have started, and it took me 3 tries. I pulled this thing out 3 times before I could get it together the right way. I don't know why I was having such a hard time with it. But it wasn't doing the twist. It was doing it wrong. I think I've got it right now, and I'm going to use this other skein of yarn and the leftovers and make another one of these just to give to Billie for her for the auction for Camp Boggy Creek. It didn't take long to make it, like much crochet time. It was pretty quick, so I know I can have it done in time and get it to her before then. So that's going to go in Billie's auction. I am using a 6mm hook. The stitch pattern is a Fiber Spider stitch pattern. I think he calls it Cabbage Patch. So it's a cluster and then like a cross in the next row, and then so it's a 2-row repeat, cluster and cross. I ended on this crosses. They're a cross with a twist. It's not just a regular cross. You'll have to watch his tutorial. But I used his stitch pattern. This yarn I don't think would block, but if you were in a different yarn, you know, like a wool or something, you would block this and you would see the crosses better. But even in this, it gives it, there's a lot of texture in it, and Amanda loves texture. So, 2-row repeat, real easy to remember, real easy to crochet this and watch the road still at the same time. So that's the plan. That's where we're at with the crochet. I have not worked on the Grafgans. Next, after we leave here, we're going a stop in Georgia, I think just for a night. And then we're headed to Myrtle Beach, where we'll be staying for a month. Excuse me. And I will definitely focus on my Grafgan then. It's a very slow go for me to make a Grafgan, but I want to have that done in time for the Boggy Creek delivery this year. So I'm going to really focus on that when we're stationary, because I like to work on the table when I make the graph. And that's packed in the car even. It's not even in the camper right now. I still have to finish my crochet along with Juan. I am almost done with the second cake of yarn, I think. And I know I'm on the last section before the border, but I have to watch the tutorial, then do the row, then watch the tutorial, then do the row, and I just haven't had a chance to do that. And I wanted to get this Mobius Lynette's Cozy Crochet cowl finished, so that I could see how much yarn I had left and you know, do Billie's. And then today, it's Thursday at the time of filming, the next luck of the draw comes out from Trisha, Mama Swift. I don't know if she's doing this one with Jaxie or not, but I think Jax did a tutorial on the Sweet Marshmallow Kisses pattern, but back and forth. And I think that's the pattern that I'm going to use. I was going to try to do the mile a minute squiggly wiggly that tutorial that Juan the Yarn Addict had, because I think that's a really cool pattern to, you know, when we had a lot of those blankets last year. I don't think we've gotten any squiggly wigglies this year, but I wanted to make it last year and I didn't. And I brought yarn to make it. Excuse me. But then I have this cabin colored yarns that I want to use to make the squiggly wigglies this time. And I thought, well, I will try to incorporate the squiggly wiggly and the cabin color yarns and this luck of the draw. You need 6 colors for the luck of the draw. You need 4 colors for the squiggly wiggly, according to the tutorial. So it wasn't quite, and I only have 5 colors. Well, the cabin colors are 4, and I added a cream, excuse me, for the last luck of the draw. So then I'm like, well, then I probably could use 6 and do like 1 inside color as the main color, and then do the cabin colors around the main color, including the cream. And I'm like, oh, I don't know that I want to. Then that means I have to buy another color yarn, and I don't. And people are saying, suggesting a variegated, which would be awesome. But I really don't want to buy more yarn. I want to use the yarn I have here. So I'm in a I'm in a predicament. Not a huge issue, but just a little bit of an issue. So then I was thinking, last night during the Boggy Creek unboxing, someone said, you know, measure when you do the mile a minute, don't forget you have to measure those to make sure they're the same size. I have such an issue with things being the same size. I thought, I'm not doing that. That talked me right out of the squiggly wiggly. Just because they're right. They got to be the same size. I can do squares that are relatively close on size. So yeah, I'm not doing that. Decided, no, it's not happening. It's not a happening thing now. So that totally threw that out of the squiggly wiggly out of the ballpark. I'm like, I'm not even gonna I don't want to worry about it. If I'm gonna be having to concentrate on like tension or color controlling or anything to that effect, I want it to be with my graph gan. I love the graph gans. I wish I was faster at them. I wish I was better at them. I'm not going to get better at them if I don't get working on them. Excuse me, frog in my throat. And so I need to dig it out of the car and work on that. But I don't want to do it while we're still traveling as much as we're traveling right now. When we get to Myrtle Beach, we'll be there for a month. Then there's a couple of days of travel, and we'll be in Florida, and we'll be there for a couple of months. And during those 3-month period, we'll be delivering the Boggy Creek blankets, and I will have that graph gan done. I'm determined. It'll be my, project in the evenings, projects when we're not doing anything. It will be to sit down and work at this table on that graph gan. That is my pledge to myself. I hope I can get it done by the time Boggy Creek comes around to deliver. But, by the time it comes around to deliver blankets for Boggy Creek, which is a camp in Eustis, Florida that serves chronically ill kids. It is a passion of mine. And if you are new to this channel and you're still hanging out, thank you for that. But we collect blankets because Boggy gives every kid at camp gets a souvenir blanket to take home with them. It's on the bed. They get to pick their bed. in their cabin, and they generally pick by the blanket that's on the bed. They are told that they get to take that blanket home, and it's a souvenir forever for them. Last year we raised over 3,000 blankets with the yarn community. We have a we have an email now. We have a swag shop. It has just grown, and all proceeds from everything go to Camp Boggy Creek. Our swag shop is over almost $1,600 has been raised. Incredible from the yarning community. It's so touching to see so many people just going to town with helping these kids and giving them a forever memory. Gives a lot of people a place that crochet, that's like nobody wants another crochet blanket. Grandma, I have 45 crochet blankets. Please give it to somebody else. Not that they don't appreciate the crochet blanket, but like, you know, people only want so many blankets. And crocheters love to crochet blankets. So we do. We make a lot of blankets. I know people that crochet that have never done anything but blankets. And have crocheted for years and years and years. And I have a lot of people say, thank you for giving me a place to donate my blankets. They are 30 to 45 wide, 40 to 50 long, 40-inch square circle star. That's the sweet spot if you're doing something that's not rectangular. We suggest no bougie yarn, no animal fibers, because these kids are already sick and we don't want to worry about, are they going to be allergic? And they're kids, 6 to 17 years old, I believe. So, you know, they're going to drag them on the floor, you know, and they're sick kids. They might get sick on them. You never know. It's, you know, it's not, if a little kid takes that as their comfort blanket, you know, there's going to be times those kids are sick. And so you need something that's going to be washable, drag aroundable, sturdy, not your bougie yarn. So that's how Boggy Creek goes. Every Wednesday, we send blankets to Nancy, and her address is in my description box. We have a playlist also in my description box as a link to tutorials for blankets that have been designed specifically for Boggy Creek. Graphgans that have been designed specifically for Boggy Creek are available. The patterns are available through our email at Boggy Blanket Brigade at gmail.com. All that being said, all that's available for your inspiration use, and then send in the blankets and we give them to the kids once a year, which we might end up doing more than once a year if they keep coming in like they're coming in, because storage is an issue. So anyway, we're not going away, and that's what we do for the kids. That it's a big passion of Nancy, Lynanne, Billie, Jaxie, and myself. And so we appreciate any and all help. Word of mouth has helped us to grow a great deal. This is our 4th year. And we will be delivering this year on February 6th. So that's very exciting. Can't wait to get there to do that. All right, that's all I have for you for today. That's my only crochet finished object and next project. Hopefully I'll have this done, this one for Billie, hopefully very soon. I do have to get the yarn out and figure out what I'm doing with the luck of the draw, which is probably already up, and I'm already late now. That's okay. I can catch up. You only do a little bit at a week. If you don't know luck of the draw, visit Trish at her channel, Mama Swift, and she will not only explain it, but I think this is luck of the draw 13. It's a 10-week crochet along, and Trish will explain everything in her video, but I will link her channel in the description box below as well. So that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, liking, and dealing with the flicker if you're seeing a flicker. I don't know what's up. All right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.